The all-new Renault 5. I decided after one Irish Car of the Year to have a second look around it and see why this car has been so lauded and is it so deserving of the endless list of awards that it keeps on winning. There's been so many of them. 335 have been registered in the country so far this year. But what's so special about it? It's just a car, isn't it? That's true, but it's a car full of personality. And I think that is part of the key of why this car has been so successful. Not just here in France, they're absolutely everywhere. It's a car that actually got the whole nod back to the original right. And it's full of personality and uniqueness everywhere you look. Not to mention the fact that you can get it in colours like this. And I do wonder, is there a lesson to be learned in the Renault 5 for other manufacturers? I won't give you the French prices because they'll make your eyes water with jealousy, but it starts at €26,000 and even the top spec, which this one is 33 grand. I'm not saying it's cheap, but it's affordable. And it's a car that people actually stop and want to talk to you about. It gets admiring glances. And this is also part of the point. If people want to talk about your car, surely that's a good sign. And I've touched on it, but then there's the awards. 35 at last count. It won Irish Car of the Year just a few short weeks ago in association with Continental Tires, but it's also won European Car of the Year earlier on in the year. People, journalists, jurors, and the public just seem to love this little car. Another reason, of course, that's purely anecdotal, but when you look around this car, it's still full of those personality switches like the gear stalk, but it's got tons and tons of physical buttons. It's a car you could jump into and just drive. When you're driving by other cars and built up traffic, it's not even a car that will annoy people because it's taking up half the road. And again, if people like you, well, that's half the battle in life, isn't it? All of that said, it's not a perfect car. I do wish the range had more kilometers in it with a bigger battery size, and efficiency-wise, particularly in the cold, it's not particularly happy. I've been driving it for about a week and a half now and it's achieving almost 20 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. If you need to cross country all the time, it's not a car I'd be considering. It's more of a city car with the odd long distance trip thrown in. But it's got enough power, 150 brake horsepower through the front wheels, and it still drives like a fun hatch of sorts. And I think the proof of the pudding is even petrol heads could look at this car and admire it. And if they're honest with themselves, go, yeah, I like that. They might want a petrol engine in it, but design-wise, they like it. I think you'd want to be fairly stone cold inside to not appreciate what it is. The question I'm asking today is, has the Renault 5 helped us turn a corner in terms of EV sales? It's been a very successful year in 2025. There's still plenty more to do, but there's been quite a lot of growth compared to 2024 and of course 2023. And the more we can see fun cars like this in the market, that's where in my head we need to get to. I know every car can't be this much fun, look like this and be oozing with personality. There needs to be cars that just serve a purpose. And for lots of people who aren't into cars, that's all they want. For perhaps you and I who got into cars for the love of cars, it needs to be this kind of level to at least entertain us when we look at them. There are no doubt are ways from combustion cars that this car can't match. And that's just a fact. So let's look at it from the perspective of, okay, well, what can we do to replace that engine sound? How can we make it desirable? How can we at least get people interested in it so if they were shortlisting a new car, regardless of powertrain, this could potentially be on their list? I think within the affordability bracket that this car is in, they've achieved that. When you can recommend something like this to a friend who maybe has a petrol or diesel car, but you're telling them this would be a great fun second option. It may not fit growing teenagers or a Labrador in the boot, but if you want that second nippy runaround that will potentially put a smile on your face when you drive it, not to mention the very affordable fuel bills, it's up there. This humble little Renault 5 doesn't have all the interior space in the world, or indeed the biggest boot, the biggest battery, or the longest range of the cars available in the market right now. What it does have in abundance, and in some ways I think is nearly untouchable, is personality. You can't help look at this car and smile. You can't help look at this car and go, ah, that's deadly. And for a modern car to be able to do that, not be an SUV, be a small little city car, doesn't really matter what is powering this thing, in my opinion. And even just now, someone stopped me to say, can I take a picture? And I said, yeah, of course. And as they walked away, they said, it's just beautiful. And that is the point. And that's why I think it has deserved to win so many awards. It's genuinely fun to drive. You can pretty much do a family of 4 in it, unless you've got dogs and bikes and things like that. And we need more of these cars in 2026 and beyond. Yes, small cars, but give them personality. That's what so many electric cars, that's what so many modern cars, in my opinion, are missing these days. Apart from this thing, this has it in spades. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.